Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me live today. It's Tuesday. The sun is shining in Brighton at least, and I hope you're having a good day. I hope you had a good weekend. Today we're going to do a combination of some muscle energy techniques like we've done in a couple of previous videos, which I've linked in the comments here. And we're going to do muscle energy techniques to release and stimulate our hip extensors, so the muscles in the back of the body. And then we're going to do some cardio, so a little bit of high intensity interval training in between the muscle energy technique, which will be our rest period, in order to wake up the hip flexors, to get them working in order to release the hip extensors even more. And then we'll do a little bit more hip extensor work as well today. So we're going to start on the floor and we're going to be lying on our back. So this is just to start to warm up basically. And we're doing a muscle energy technique for our hip extensors. So you're just going to lie on your back and press your thighs into your hands. So you want to just engage about 20% pressure. This can be quite challenging to find, first of all, particularly in this position. So if you've done some previous videos with me where we've had one leg crossed over, sometimes it's a little bit easier to find. Sometimes this one's a little bit challenging. So don't worry if you can't quite feel anything first time doing it. And the reason we're doing this is to get just generating a little bit of energy in the muscle to get them to activate and allow them to release if they may be in spasm, or get them working properly if they're in spasm if we've been sitting for a long time. So we're going to hold this for about 20 seconds, which I think we've been doing. And now we're going to just do a little bit of hip flexor work. Remember, we're just warming up. So toe tapping. And if you need to start with your feet on the floor and lifting the knees up, we can go for this one as well, just while we're getting the abdominals nice and warm as well. So we're focusing on hip flexors here. So bringing the knees in, really starting to warm up the muscles here, connecting the hips to the legs. And this is going to help to further release the hip extensors in the back of the body. So it's just complementing the work we're doing with the muscle energy technique. So a little bit more. So when we start going for our more high intensity stuff in a moment, one of the exercises we're going to be doing is scissors. So legs are going to be up in the air and you're just going to be alternating the legs. And we're going to do this with a little bit more intensity, but at the moment we're just warming up. And scissoring the legs and really focusing on that contraction in the hip flexors. So pulling the leg in towards you, trying to keep the legs as straight as you can. If you need to take them a little bit lower, that's totally fine. Might be a bit more challenging on the abs though. Really make sure that abdominals are engaged and low back is pressing into the floor. For 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's just roll over onto the side. We're going to come up to standing, still warming up at this point here. And we're going to do an exercise I call can-can. If you need something to hold on to, you can do that. A little bit of balance, lifting a knee, and then we're going to extend the leg out. So switching sides, lifting the other knee and extend the leg. So again, we're really targeting the hip flexors here. We're going to do this with a little bit more speed in a moment. This is just a warm up, so you know what you're going to be doing in a moment. Lifting the knee and extending. And we're going to be doing the muscle energy techniques in between these. So that will be like the rest period. If you imagine high energy HIIT workouts, I always get stumbled over my words when we're doing this one. They require you to work very hard for a short period of time and then rest. So this is what we're going to do in our rest period, is the muscle energy technique. One more each side of these. And now we're going to do some squats. So again, let's take them nice and small just while we're warming up. Often we'll think of squats, they're usually a hip extensors exercise, which is great, so we're strengthening our hip extensors. But for you to really work in the hip flexors as well, I really want you to think about pulling yourself down, using your hip flexors, really starting to squeeze here. So hopefully your heart rate should be getting up a little bit. You should be feeling a little bit warmer. And really squeeze. And let's do 2 more. And 1 more. So last thing in the warm-up, we're going to just warm up our hip extensors a little bit with a bridge or 2. One of my favorite exercises, as I'm sure you all know. Oh gosh, that's our fire alarm test. So feet underneath, feet nice and close to your bum, and then just lifting the hips up and bringing them down again. So really using your glutes and your hamstrings to lift the hips up and opening up into the hip flexors. Let's do 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. So hopefully you're feeling nice and warm. We're going to start our little sequence now. So we're going to do muscle energy technique to release the hip extensors. We're going to do the scissors on the floor. We're going to do another muscle energy technique. We're going to come up to standing, do the can-can, back on the floor for our muscle energy technique. Then we're going to do the squats, 1 more muscle energy technique, and we're going to finish with the bridges. So we're going to be doing 20 seconds approximately of the muscle energy technique. Then we'll be doing 45 seconds, as hard as you can go with the little cardio. Remember to always prioritize good form over going as fast as you can, but going as fast as you can with good form, because you really want to get those that heart rate up and get the blood flowing around the body as much as you can. So I'm going to set my timer. We're going to come back to the muscle energy technique again. So lying on your back and just holding behind your thighs, relaxing the thighs into the hands. And breathing. So I've set a timer for this time, but sometimes you can do it without a timer. You can just take 3 nice long deep breaths, and that's about 20 seconds. So get ready for the scissors, and we're going to go as fast as we can, really focusing on those hip flexors and really pulling the legs in towards you, keeping the legs nice and straight. Upper body is relaxed. And I probably won't go as fast as I can. I just want to conserve a little bit of energy so I can still talk to you guys. Keeping the abdominals engaged. Hopefully you should really feel those hip flexors firing. And are you breathing? Can you push it a little bit more, a little bit faster perhaps? Really keeping the legs straight. Good job. Keep it going. Keep breathing. Abdominals still engaged. Keep scissoring those legs. Good job. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. So bending the knees, we're going to do another muscle energy technique again. So again, just allowing the thighs to press into the hands. You're relaxing the lower legs. And it can be actually challenging to get the hip flexors to turn off here because we are in a flex position. But you want to be thinking about pressing the thighs away into your hands to activate the hip extensors. A few nice deep breaths. We're going to come up to standing and we're going to do the can-can. So lifting the leg up and extending. So remember now we want to be going at a little bit more with a little bit more pace. And if you need to help balance, so you can go a little bit faster, that's totally fine. Although if you can go fast and balance at the same time, that's also excellent. Good challenge for you. Keep the legs nice and straight. When you do the straight leg one, get it as high as you can without flexing the body forwards. And lifting and opening. Again, we're really firing those hip flexors. And lift and extend, nearly there, 5 more seconds. Keep it going. Good job. And 3, and we're done. All right, back on the floor. Muscle energy technique, lying down. And thighs into the back of the legs. Pressing there, so just 20% pressure. It's nothing too strong at all. Really relaxing into it. Upper body is relaxed, lower legs are relaxed. And just using that 20% pressure of the legs into the hands to energize and stimulate the muscles. So our squats. sitting the hips back and squeezing up. So for this one, again, really getting the hip flexors to fire, so really pulling back and really using the glutes to come up again. So that's your hip extensors, obviously. We're focusing on using the hip flexors, getting them working to release the hip extensors, but obviously with the squat, you want to use the glutes to help you come back up again. So pulling back, squeeze up, pull back and squeeze. Keep it going, keep breathing, nice long deep breaths. And nearly there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And coming down onto the floor, one more round. So feet underneath you, you're hugging your legs, one more muscle energy technique. Thighs pressing into the hands, breathing. Just 20% pressure. So the next one we're going to do is the bridge. So this is strength for our hip extensors now. Here we go, feet underneath you. Really using those glutes to lift the hips up. Pressing through the floor, sending the knees away. Shoulders are relaxed as possible. Notice I'm not coming up onto my shoulders. I'm just really lifting the hips, keeping the rib cage closed. Hip bones pulling up towards the bottom of the ribs. And really using those glutes to drive the hips up. Trying to take the focus away from the low back. Using the glutes to lift and the hamstrings as well. And just a couple more. We've got 5 more seconds. Nearly there. And release. Give yourself a hug. So you can just roll around on the low back for a moment. Take a moment just to relax. And then let's hold behind your, I can't even talk, my left leg. And let's extend the leg up in towards the ceiling. And flex the foot and point the foot. If you want to extend your bottom leg along the floor, you can do. Just a few points and flexes. And then let's bend and extend that leg that's up in the air. So you can point the foot as you extend and flex the foot as you bend. And one more time. And bending. Let's switch sides. So keeping the foot flat on the floor, the other leg reaching up, pointing and flexing the foot a few times, really stretching into the calves, also stretching into the backs of the legs. And if you want to straighten the other leg along the floor, you can do. And then bending the foot, pulling the knee in towards you and extend. And bend and extend. Got building going on upstairs, so I apologize for any banging or any loud voices you can hear. Hopefully it hasn't come over on the mic too much. And last one. Let's bend both knees in, give yourself another little hug. Rolling around on the mat if that feels good. And then you can roll over onto one side to come up to sitting. So I hope you enjoyed that little practice. If you have any questions about the muscle energy techniques, please do drop me a comment. I didn't see any comments coming through. In fact, let me just have a quick scan through and see who's been on today. Cool, thank you everyone for watching me. Hey, Malsessi, Jen, hi, Stephanie, Carla, Louisa, Sonia, yay, Nick, again, Nick, hey, I hope you joined in too. And Helen, awesome, thank you guys. I hope you all joined in with me today. And if you didn't, please do save this video. I'm going to make sure that it stays on my page if you want to do it again, or if you didn't have the space to jump on and do it with me now, you can always put it on and do it later on, because it's a really good one if you've been sitting all day. Your bum tends to go to sleep because you don't use the glutes very much. So this is a really good sequence to get the butt muscles waking up again, and also to stimulate the hip flexors, which are very much in a contracted position when we're sitting all day. Perhaps if you're standing all day, may well be that need to release their hips in different ways, but it can be just a fantastic way to either finish your day, have a break in the middle of the day, or whatever. I'm rabbiting on now, so I'm going to go. Please do shoot me a message if you have any questions, and I will see you next time. Thank you.